Welcome back to Call Me By Your Game, the podcast where I, your host, Connor McCabe, bring on a guest to hear from them about a meaningful or memorable video game from a particular moment in their life. This is a podcast about what makes video games special to different people as we look into the windows of when they hit. You're listening to a very special episode of the podcast. It's a format we bring back once a year. I guess it's tradition now that we're doing this 2 years in a row, where myself and a special little guest will list our top 9 games of the year not from 2025. So our favorite games that we played that came out in literally any year before this one. A little bit of housekeeping up top is that if you want to support the show, you can do that a few different ways. First and foremost, you can check us out on Patreon over at patreon.com/supernpcradio, where we have a bunch of bonus video game podcasts, including like a truly an archive of podcasts of games we've covered, things we've done, and also our Games Club series, which if you're listening to this now, our Silk Song Games Club that it has just wrapped up. All 11 episodes are out. You can listen to the entire thing on Patreon. You can also check out previous Games Club series like that if you want to get a feeling for it over at the Super NPC Games Club feed, wherever you get your podcasts. So if you want a preview and consider subscribing, you can do that there. That'll do it for the housekeeping. Let me introduce the only person I could ever do this format with. It's none other than Mr. Christmas himself, Jeremy Schmidt.
Ho, ho, ho! Thanks for having me, buddy. Man, we've been in a podcasting K-hole for the last 2 days, and honestly, there's nothing else I'd rather be doing.
Not at all. It really is. This is something that happens to us every year, where we get to the end of the year.
I love it. Yeah.
And I've got a lot of work done already, but I still have a little to do, like outside of all of our podcast endeavors. And yet you and I are spending it roughly 6 to 8 hours over a week podcasting together. And we did 2 yesterday. We're doing 1 today. And I think we have 2 more on Monday night.
On Monday.
But
and then we're free.
And then we never have to think about podcasts again for another 10 days.
Yeah. Well, I have to. It's always a crunch at the end of the year to record a bunch, edit a bunch, and get it all like scheduled.
Yes.
So then you can really relax, knowing you don't have anything on the agenda.
Same here. Once I ship these off to you to be edited, and then I can like make the videos and schedule those as well to go out over the next few weeks, then I'm also free, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
This is something that I teed this up on your podcast. We're doing a home and home, as they call it in sports, where you and I have taken previous topics that we used to always do at the end of the year on a now retired bonus show, Super NPCs, which is something that if you sign up at the $1 tier of our Patreon, you can get the entire 180 episode back catalog of this series.
Yes.
This was one that we would do at the end of every year, as well as an episode we just did for your podcast, the top 9 games we missed from 2025, so games we wish we had played. And today, we're recycling another format, as I've already said, the top 9 games of the year, not from this year. Before we get into starting to list our personal top 9s, is there anything that, like, any overall thoughts that you had, or anything that was going through your mind as you were sort of making this list?
Yeah, I don't want to be like, I don't want to start off with like a negative, low vibrational thing, but I was a little disappointed in myself.
Oh.
I feel like I should have played more old retro games. I mean, there's like rarely anything else I'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
And like, it's just such a it's just something I really enjoy. And when I'm looking back through my list of games I even played this year at all, the list isn't that long, and I really had to like soul search for what I felt like should even count on this list, because there's also like a lot of games I'll turn on. I'll turn on games all the time, but I can't. It's like I don't want to count it. I didn't count it unless it was something that I played for a substantial amount of time.
Yeah, kind of same here. Thorough experience as I described it.
And then I wouldn't blame you if you put Games Club games on this list.
Yeah.
I have a rule I don't do that.
I don't have one on my list. I do, however, have 2 co-op games that I covered in our co-op format.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Hey, good. As long as you think it's fair. Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, do whatever you want. But
for
I'm
your
like,
list, yes.
I'm very like, I don't know. I feel like my conscience won't let me put on the Games Club games. Just because I talked about them so much already.
It's an opportunity, even though, you kind of get to do this on your show every single week. It's an opportunity to talk about other games we really maybe haven't given a big spotlight to this year, but that we have both been playing or have played throughout the 2025. I feel the same way. We kind of touched on this on your episode, but we both feel like we've played less games this year than in previous years, which is sadly true. And my New Year's resolution for next year is I'm going to play one more game total than I did this year. So I'm going to look at my list.
Yes, brother.
I'm going to look at my list of all the crap I played this year, new and old, and I'm going to play one more. Well, Jeremy, would you how about we do this? How about we go through our list and then do honorable mentions at the end, just in case we touch on each other's honorable mentions? And I'm always looking to touch on each other's honorable mentions.
We'll touch each other's honorable mentions at the end, and but I will start my list by saying 2 games that, well,
you go for it. If you got something you want to do, please.
Yeah, just 2 games that I played that I didn't count. Yeah. Because I'm not sure if they count. Well, let me ask you this. I played Super Mario Galaxy 2 this year.
I think that is fair game, if you want to.
Well, I left it off the list, so it's kind of an honorable mention, but it's also a game I'm not counting because it came out this year.
Yeah, the re-release.
Sure. That's how I played it. And then I also didn't, I would have, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is like an incredible game, but I also didn't include that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because I had played most of it last year, the year I
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all the preamble you wanted to do,
all the preamble.
Why don't you give me we're going to count down from each of our 9s to each of our personal 1s. Jeremy, let's start with you and your number 9.
Okay, number 9 for me is, I think, my only current always game, like playing it sort of in the background all the time game. It's my only, let me check. Yep, only phone game, only mobile and that way game, and it's Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
Oh, wow. It's still in your life.
It's still in my life. I'm still ripping packs. I was ripping packs on vacation. I was getting shinies have now been introduced into the game. I don't know if you were around for the shinies getting introduced, or that now they have mega evolutions and stuff. So
wow,
it costs nothing for me. I every now and then I will buy like an in-app like set of like coins and backdrops and sleeves, but it's mostly just free. It's mostly just there for me to like do something when I'm really bored on campus or at a meeting or just something to like distract me.
Having a serious conversation. I don't know if I know our friend Jake Sprague is like really into the Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. He's made a whole online channel that's sort of centered around it, I guess, now that that other game is gone. What was that Pokemon Unite
game? Unite, yeah. But yeah, I would be interested in talking with Jake sometime about his feelings on Trading Card Game Pocket in general, because I don't really like, I have completely burned out on the battling system of like the actual playing of the card game. I just cannot. It's just so slow. It's so slow, and I have to be in such a specific situation in order for me to like want to do that stuff. So there's like big cool cards I'm missing out on all the time, and like more like pack opening resources that I'm missing out on all the time, because I just won't really do the battles. I'll go in, I'll rip some packs open, and that's kind of about it. But it's still a game that I'm still playing. So I think it makes sense for like a number 9 slot.
Nice. I think a lot of people use it in the same way that you do, which is just to open and look at the pretty cards. I went cold turkey on this game in like February or March. I was still every day, at least twice a day, opening this app and engaging with it. And there was just one day where I was like, I don't know what the thought was, if I even had a thought about it, but I just stopped opening it and never looked back. But it was really fun, man. And it was like a highlight of last year too, when it came out in November. So number 9 for you, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. My number 9, Jeremy, is a game that I played about half of this year on my Vita, and it's a little game called Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Back up.
I'm backing up right now. You and the listener might remember that this was, one of the nominees of the Metroidvania matchup, which was the election that we held, which Silksong was that determined Silksong would be our games club, but Castlevania Symphony of the Night was the other contender. And I've been wanting to play this game forever. I like the Castlevanias. I adore the Metroids, and it just never made time for this or found a way to play it. And I just loved the 6 hours or so that I put into Symphony of the Night, getting lost in the castle, getting new abilities, getting better. I'm pretty sure you've had a thorough experience of this before, right?
Yeah, I've played through this twice.
Ooh.
Once I think it's any of those Metroidvania games, of which this is the first, I suppose. Once you play them a couple of times, it becomes like a rhythmic thing, almost like where you just know where everything is, and so it's really easy for you to kind of blow. Like, these games get shorter and shorter the more you play them because you're not exploring so much. So playing through it more than once is not necessarily that epic of a feat, but that first time I played through it, man, it just really pulled the rug out from under me. I really wasn't expecting the game to be like that good or that deep or that modern feeling. I don't know how you felt, but did you feel like it was felt like a modern game? In
some ways, yes, and then in some ways I could absolutely see the 1997 of it, for sure.
Yeah.
But it was mostly great. There was like a little problem on the Vita, though, where like on the PlayStation 1, the console was designed for, that has 2 shoulder buttons. The Vita has, 4 shoulder buttons. The Vita has 2, so you have to do like a specific sequence of button presses to press like an R2 or an L2. And for some reason, it just kind of didn't work on my Vita in the way I was playing this PlayStation 1 title. So I would activate a power sometimes, like a special power that I would just have to let run out. Like turn myself into a wolf or something, and then I just have to let it deplete. Yeah.
Yeah. How far did you get in it, you said?
I got to the castle flips.
Yeah.
So I think that's roughly halfway.
That's far. I think that's pretty far. Yeah. I think so. There's more to do if you want to do the castle upside down. Like maybe another, however long, 6 hours or so. But some people never even see that part of the game. Some people just,
Dang. Well, it was incredible. I really want to finish it. It just kind of got on the back burner with Silksong. But that was my number 9, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. What is your number 8?
My number 8 is Wind Waker.
Oh!
And I'm also going to put, this is my opportunity to recognize the GameCube NSO contribution.
Awesome.
Because this is how I played it. I played Wind Waker as soon as I got my Nintendo Switch 2 this year, which is a lot of what I've been thinking about in terms of Game of the Year or End of the Year wrap up. Is obviously we got a brand new console this year, which is always going to feel special. It's always going to feel like a special year. And they gave us a bunch 3 GameCube games at launch, and have been sort of drip feeding them to us. Which I'm not obviously. I don't think anyone's a fan of that. The how light they were on GameCube games at launch, and then how slow it's been. But I've played. Wind Waker's the only one I've seen credits on. But I've played through a lot of Luigi's Mansion and Chibi Robo.
Oh,
and then Soul Calibur, F-Zero, GX. And, it's not perfect emulation. It's not like these games are a little, like, I'll be honest, I'd much rather be playing them through an actual GameCube or through a Wii at the very least. But it's still nice to have the convenience there of doing it. And the reason why Wind Waker is actually so low on this list is because I had such a weirdly tumultuous experience playing it. And Mark Mitchell, the Nintendo Cartridge Society, had a very similar experience as well.
Wow.
Like, it was interesting to see us all go back to this game and kind of be like, wow, this aged like milk.
Mm-hmm.
This is not as fun as I remember. And just how much that Wii U HD remake did for that game. I know you kind of don't love the graphical changes that they made.
Yeah, that's like my only preference to the original is I kind of like the graphics better on the GameCube.
Yeah. And I will say, still beautiful
Yeah.
to go back to those graphics, those GameCube original graphics in that GameCube aspect ratio with the GameCube lighting effects and all of that stuff. But definitely the part of the game where you have to collect all of those Triforce pieces
Miserable.
is a really miserable experience. And I just yeah. But that being said, I had never beaten the original, so at least I can say I've done it.
Did you see what game was just announced for this service?
I did. Wario World. I haven't had a chance to play that yet, but
Dude, that and Chibi Robo feel so unexpected to me, and I'm so excited that they're on there for people like me to play, because I never touched either of those, and they're weird.
Yes, they're both very strange, as is most of the entries in the GameCube, especially first party.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have a great time with Wario World, and I think you're gonna really like. I think Chibi Robo to me was like a nice fascination.
Okay.
Like it was really fascinating to play. I ended up kind of bouncing off of it at some point, just because of how cumbersome the game is, and again, it's like slow. There's like a pacing to some of these GameCube games that it's just rhythmically really hard to like remember, like the deliberateness of walking up to a ladder, lining yourself up exactly correct, and then having to that Chibi Robo does the exact thing.
Weird.
Same thing with ladders.
What is it with the ladders on that system? Okay, number 8, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, but kind of representing the GameCube library in general on the Switch Online. For me, number 8, I think I told you I was playing this, but I've got a feeling you've forgotten. This is another title. I'm realizing the first 3 games on my list are all games I played on the Vita this year. This is
great.
Gravity Rush.
Yeah!
And it's only number 8 because I didn't finish this game. Because I think the top 6 to 5 games I saw to completion here. But like Symphony of the Night in a completely different way, had always, especially since I've become aware of the wonders of the PlayStation Vita, had always wanted to play Gravity Rush. And dude, there can be a little moments that are cumbersome with the gyro of the game, or aiming your character to move around as you're sort of flying through the city and redirecting gravity to different planes. But dude, this game rocks. You've also played this, right?
Yeah. I've also never beaten it, but it does feel like a quintessential PlayStation Vita experience, and it's something that like just doesn't really benefit from being on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's
as much.
It's awesome. It's so much fun. I haven't really played a lot of games like it. I kind of compared it when I was playing it to Spider-Man in the way that you really feel like you can just get anywhere on the map at any time. So the narrative is pretty interesting too. I love the different abilities that you eventually get, but I even just had fun flying around these different like sections of the town that I was revitalizing and collecting little gems here and there to spend on abilities. You have a cat too. It's awesome. There's like it's not the sort of way that characters have discussions and scenes is sort of like the Persona series, where you don't see character models really talking to each other, but there's voice acting, which is really good, with character portraits. And yeah, Gravity Rush.
Yeah, it's got that same kind of cell shading graphics to it, and it feels so Japanese, which is such a great like flavor to the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation in general. Like, in a way that I really, really miss. And, give me a really interesting, odd, unique mechanic with like the vibe of I don't know, just something like non-Western. And I'm usually like, I'm so invested, and that game really does a good job with that.
It does. That's my number 8. Let's do your number 7.
Number 7 for me is, this is sort of my send-off of the great PlayStation 1, the mighty PlayStation 1 that we covered in a number of episodes this year. This is Tekken 3 for the PlayStation 1. I guess you can roll up all of my PlayStation 1 testing and like replaying of stuff into the amount of time I ended up spending on Tekken 3. Tekken 3, you've played, I'm sure you
I have, yeah. It's one of the ones that I played the most.
Okay, great. So you know how, like, this is, like, the pleasures of Smash Brothers before Smash Brothers, and that, like, almost every time you do a run in the game, you get a new character.
Yeah.
And that loop will completely ensnare me if you put that in your game, where it's just, like, a reward that tangible to me is too delicious to ignore. So I'll get caught on Tekken 3 anytime, especially if it's a new save. Suddenly I'm like, I don't know if it's like OCD, but I'm like, I have to get all the characters. So then I just immediately start running drills through the campaign or the tournament of Tekken 3. Looks great, feels great, infinitely playable.
Does that one have a mini game in it too?
Yeah, I think it does. I think that's where they started the beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, the trend,
Tekken Force.
Because there's volleyball in one of them or something like that, or like a volleyball-like mini game.
Yeah, is it? Tekken Force mode is what it's like. It was it's a beat 'em up essentially, like something like a Streets of Rage set.
Wow.
Inside of Tekken 3. That is exactly where beat 'em ups should have landed. The whole genre should always be like added on to any fighting game, because that's what the best beat 'em ups are, fighting game mechanics with combos and etc. So I think that there might also be volleyball in there. Tekken 3 was bursting at the seams with content when it came out. That's, to me, what feels so modern about Tekken 3 is as you go back and play a lot of older games, you'll notice there's like very little game modes. They'll feel very arcadey at first, but we start to get into like modern gaming as soon as we start to like literally like overload the player with options and things to do. And Tekken 3 feels like that.
Dang, that's a great entry. Great to represent the PlayStation 1. I forget. Yeah, I guess my first game on this list was a PlayStation 1 game. I played some others. Like, I almost finished Metal Gear Solid again. I played a ton of Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped and dipped into a ton of other titles usually much earlier in this year.
Right.
That was your number 7. My number 7 is another game. This finishes off my trio of Vita experiences, and that's a game I talked to you about during my time in Japan, Persona 4 Golden.
Yes.
This is my introduction to the Persona series, something that as I was leaving for 8 days in Japan and I wanted to play a game that had, a familiar setting to that region, I did some Googling, and Persona 4 Golden made it onto my Vita, and I think I played about 10 hours of this, and the big criticism I have of this game is it takes about 4 hours to really get into the loop, which I guess that's just a standard for the Persona series. But once you do, I was eating it up. I love the turn-based battle system. I love the personalities. I love how dramatic everything is. The Persona idea in general of having these things fight for you and how that can change your player character's abilities. Yeah, this game is really cool and one that I just wish I would have had more time to stick with. The only reason I think that it's 7, kind of like the other couple, is that I didn't finish it or even come close. But yeah, Persona 4 Golden, huge one for me.
Yeah, that's huge. I also very similarly to you, played this game a lot in Japan during my visit, and this was a really great game just to take with you on a trip and just sort of get lost in it, in the ease of it, and in the rhythms of it, because it's not too necessarily punishing, or it's not, there's a lot of downtime in the game to kind of just breeze. Like, this is a real flight melter for me. Like, this will just melt time off of a flight. And I actually have never beaten this game like you, and I've I'll put it away until like my next trip, where I'll pick it back up. So it feels like I've almost been watching like seasons of the Persona 4 television show or something, where I'll play like 20 hours.
Yep.
At a time. Like, so it's like, I think I'm at over 40 hours at this point in the game. Who is your favorite? Who are you romantically shipping in the game?
Well, I'm having trouble remembering their names, but I can tell you who Chie. Chie.
Rise.
My favorite character,
Yukiko.
Yukiko-san. Who could forget? My favorite character, and I think this has to do with the voice acting, is, I think it's Yasuke. Or Yasuke is how you pronounce his name. Yasuke. He's the character that Yuri Lowenthal voices, and he's just like he's such a sweet guy who is such a wannabe cool guy, and I can relate to that a lot. So I loved him, and how cartoonishly nervous he is around girls, and how he just has the ability to make any situation uncomfortable. But that game, dude, so good. Whoever finishes it first between us gets a high five. How about that?
Gets a high five. Yeah, I like that. Good stakes.
Yes. So that's my number 7. Let's go to your number 6.
Okay, number 6 for me is a game called Bakaru. Have you played Bakaru?
What the heck?
Oh, buddy, you're going to love Bakaru. So Bakaru is a 2023-2024 game that I think to this day, it's a Switch game. It's a Switch exclusive. Maybe it's on PC as well, but it's a Spike Chunsoft game. It is based off of... It is a spiritual successor to the Goemon franchise.
Oh, really?
On Nintendo Switch. Yeah, it is Tadanori Tsukawaki and Etsunobu Abisu, both of which were the lead creators of the Goemon series.
Oh.
And they developed this game that is sort of, you play as Bakaru, a Tanuki boy, disguised as a human, who performs like a lot of attacks on his taiko, which is like drums. So this is about
really?
This is about the most Japanese game on my list. It's the most Japanese game of all time, I believe. It is it's level based, where you basically go through like a top down sort of like Super Mario 3D World vibe through stages. You use your drums to attack. There's collectibles throughout each stage.
This looks awesome.
It is incredible, dude. You should wishlist this and grab it on a sale sometime, because it is like got 3D platforming elements. It's got just like vibes for days.
Yeah.
Great sound design, a great cartoony art style. Bakaru is definitely one that I again haven't beaten, but want to continue to play through and see to the end.
You know who I bet loves this game? Alec Robbins.
I bet he might.
I bet he knows all about it.
Yeah.
Dude, Bakaru. Dang.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that there was something that was a complete surprise on your list for me. Awesome. Bakaru, your number 6. My number 6. This is a game I don't know if I told you I think I told you I was playing this at some point, but this is something I was mostly playing in I think it was May and June. I had very thorough, got to the end of the game where, well, I'll just say it. It's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Oh, geez. I almost put this game on my list too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I do remember when you were playing this, and I was playing it, I think we were both playing it around the same time, and I think I played much less than you did, though.
Yeah. I got to the end of the game where, like the first title, you have to go on a fetch quest for 9 or so MacGuffins in order to reach the actual end of the game, and I was like, I've really liked my time with this, as hostile as that game is to the player. I do not feel the need to finish it. And I truly just put it down, and I dusted off my hands and said, or wiped my hands or whatever, and was like...
You dusted them off
I dusted
with a wipe.
them off. I wasn't using them before. But I played this on my Wii U via the Wii, because I had bought the trilogy right as the eShop was closing on the Virtual Console. So I played this with the Wiimote and the Nunchuck. That actually worked really great. And I was not put off by the sort of dark world, light world, and the dark world, you get hurt unless you're in the special areas sort of thing. I just kind of managed and really didn't... I mean, it slows down your gameplay, which is kind of annoying, but anyway, I loved this game for the most part. I'm glad to have seen basically half of the Metroid Prime series now. I wanted to play 3 to gear up for 4, which which I'm hotly anticipating, but I never made it.
I know. I really feel like, because I'm playing 4 right now, and that's sort of become my main game that I'm probably going to play through Christmas, and I have this feeling of wanting to go back and play 2 and 3 in the same way that you did, and so I might end up doing that. I'm probably about 5 hours into Echoes. But,
I want to say I maybe put about 12 hours in, and I feel like I go through these games a lot slower than most people, even though I'm quite thorough in getting just about everything in an area. But yeah, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Was glad to get the Wii U out this year. That's my number 6. Let's go to your number 5.
My number 5 is continuing to celebrate the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. I played back through Super Mario Odyssey for the first time since it came out in 2017.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. The Nintendo Switch 2 has made incredible upgrades to that game in particular, along with a bunch of other games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. The Mario Odyssey always did look incredible on the Nintendo Switch 1. It looks even better and plays even better here. It felt really right to go back to it, and it fulfilled a lull that I think we all experienced at the beginning of the Nintendo Switch 2 launch, where we didn't really have a game like this to sort of wet our beak with. We had Mario Kart World, but we didn't have... Donkey Kong didn't come out until a month later, so it was... in that time, I was able to play through Super Mario Odyssey, and it was really fun to do that back to back with Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, cool!
Because I was able to see sort of that developer's evolution in game design and stuff. And so Super Mario Odyssey, I know we've all played it. It's probably one of the best. It's like 1 or 2 best Switch game ever, maybe one of the best Nintendo games ever. I mean, I think, and I still think this game gets underrated or underestimated a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an absolute masterpiece. I'll never forget my first playthrough. I think I started it a second time at one point, but I just absolutely fell off for whatever reason. But I'm kind of envious of your... the opportunity you made to play this back-to-back with Bonanza and to see the similarities or the differences and, like you said, design evolution. That's great. Yeah. Super Mario Odyssey, your number 5. My number 5, this is my first of 2 co-op entries on my list, and that is Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
Oh my god, no frickin' way.
Yeah, frickin' way.
Okay. Great.
Did you have something else you were going to say on the end of that?
Not yet.
Okay. I really only... I played 2 campaigns in this game, and I played all the way through the Shovel of Hope, which we covered on a co-op episode with Patrick Mark and Matt Acevedo. But I also played I forget what there's another campaign on here that's also an action platformer, and they have like
there's a couple, right? Isn't there?
There might be 3 of those.
You played the villains, right?
Yeah, you play like a guy you've learned was not evil, but was I forget which character it was, but this game was an absolute like joy for me. One, again, that I had heard about for years and years, and I really ended up loving the sort of like classic Mega Man action platformer style levels. It's also got some things in common with the original Castlevania, but yeah, Shovel Knight with his little shovel, it was as much as I could have hoped for. And there was more to the game that I didn't even fully experience. There's like, you can be, if you want to search for every little thing in these levels, you can. And yeah, it's just a gift that keeps on giving. I love Yacht Club games. I'm nervous for them in general, but I'm really excited for Mina the Hollower to come out next year. And I hope it's a success so they can keep making games. But that recent Jason Schreier article gave me the feeling that they've had some real struggles business-wise the last few years, or some missteps.
That is I read that article as well, and that is really unfortunate. And I almost don't even get it, because I'm like, how this game is so successful in my mind. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like it's such a tentpole for indie games in general. They've had so many collaborations with so many. Didn't you guys? Maybe you didn't go, but at least Patrick went to like a concert, a fully orchestrated Shovel Knight.
Yeah,
musical concert.
Patrick, and Mark went. It was awesome.
That's incredible. Like, they don't do that for games that aren't successful. Yeah. I don't really understand. I mean, I would have to learn more about what missteps they made business wise, but it's a bummer, because there's another world where they made better decisions and are like one of the most successful indie developers.
Yeah,
like how much of a hit this was.
It was just such a surprise to hear that from that article and be like, well, if they're struggling, how the hell are other indie studios still doing it, unless they have a head count of 3 like Team Cherry.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shovel Knight, treasure trove, really Shovel of Hope for me, and I think Mina's probably my most anticipated game for next year at this moment.
Oh, wow.
But that's my number 5. Let's move on to your number 4.
That's a great number 5. My number 4 is Balatro.
Oh, did you warm up to this game?
I played this year. It came out last year. It's interesting. Like, I never disliked it. I don't dislike this game at all. Like, it's number 4. It's actually high on my list of games that I played. But that being said, I do find it strange that these games do not work on me in the same way that they work on someone like Jacques Maladou, friend of the show, who will lose hundreds of hours to games like Slay the Spire and Balatro and maybe Vampire Survivors. I'm just thinking of games that seem to like ensnare people. This didn't do that, but it is such a meaningful and incredible experience. Have you played this game before?
I've still never opened it.
Okay, it's to say it's poker is really misleading, because it's like poker is the door that opens up to a whole world of different of deck building and rules and power-ups and bosses and all kinds of stuff that end up in Balatro. But it's so simple, made by one person. I would never put this in the idea that this game could ever compete with a game of the year is crazy to me. I just feel like we just really overblew Balatro's impact last year. But that doesn't mean it's not a great game. That's like such, again, another flight melter too. If you want to just melt away hours on a flight, just put on Balatro.
Such a wide appeal too. This is one of those games that appeals to people who I know who wouldn't call themselves gamers, but definitely are. But they can just sync. I see like through their blinds, my neighbors playing this sometimes as I'm walking by.
Oh, that's cool.
That's your number 4, correct?
That's number 4.
4, Balatro for Jeremy. Me, my number 4. This might be a complete surprise to you. This is the title for the PlayStation Portable, and it is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
That is surprising to me. What do you mean? You played this?
I played through all the way through one of the stories and most of the way through the second of 3. But this is, I don't even know what number Kingdom Hearts game this is, but this is like a prequel to Sora's whole story. And this is a game that I just kept hearing get so much love from the Into the Aether podcast. They did a whole PSP episode over the summer this year, but as they were playing games leading up to it, they wouldn't shut up about Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And I have such a limited experience with this series. I've played, I don't know, I got into the Tarzan world of the first Kingdom Hearts on PS2, and I think that was maybe 6 hours in, but have you played any of these?
Oh, I've beaten Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy you say this because I also just reinstalled Kingdom Hearts, like the collection on my PS5, because I wanted to pick back up Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh my.
Which is crazy because I like in my brain I'm able to play like Metroid Prime 4, Kingdom Hearts 2, like all of these Majora's Mask, like before my break is over.
Yes.
And like that is just straight up not going to happen. So I don't know how I'm going to juggle all this, but and what I'll actually end up playing, but I have full intention of picking back up Kingdom Hearts 2
Interesting.
during the break. Yeah.
Well, maybe this will be all this Kingdom Hearts chatter will be what gets you going on it.
Perhaps. I've also heard great things about the game that you're talking about. So.
It's amazing. There are 3 main characters. You can choose whose version of the story you play through at the beginning of the game. So you could just start with any of the 3 characters, and as they go through the same narrative, you see what they're up to in their side of the story because they do separate. And yeah, it's like not the most inventive game when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts action RPG mechanics, but it is really fun and incredibly engaging. Like the fighting and battling is fun. It's so fun to level up your abilities, to kind of customize your character and your specialties, and just to like go through a handful of like classic Disney worlds. You see things like, I think one of the first ones you go to in a story is Snow White. You also see do a little Lilo and Stitch moment as well.
Wow.
But it's great. The narrative is pretty good, actually, despite being from a series that is known for being almost nonsensical with its narrative. But yeah, Birth by Sleep is incredible. I really wish I would have finished the second and third stories, but I consider it a completed playthrough because I finished one of them. And it was let me look up the character's name. It's not Terra. It's not Aqua. It is, let's see.
Fyra.
No, that should be the character's name. Let's see. I just want to say the character's name before I move on.
Do her justice.
Come on. It's like
Kaka.
Okay, plot. It's set 10 years prior to the first Kingdom Hearts game. So it kind of sets up a lot of the stuff. Characters, okay, it's Ventus. Ventus is like Sora stand-in, sort of. He's the little boy. He's sort of the little brother of these 2 real warriors or whatever they are, Terra and Aqua. But yeah, anyway, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Incredible.
That's great. Yeah, I was completely shocked that you are playing a Kingdom Hearts game.
The last thing I'll say about it is...
Shocked when anyone is.
I know. The last thing I'll say about it is that for some reason, when I think of this game, I associate it with the movie Anora, because when I was fighting the final boss, I lost to it a bunch of times, and then we went and watched Anora, and then I came back and beat it. And so, unfortunately, I'm just thinking of Mikey Madison and that pretty devastating movie.
Yeah,
on
and I
the
think she
brain.
could play Ventus later if she wanted.
And I think she should.
Yeah.
So that's my number 4, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Jeremy, let's get your number 3. We're in the top 3.
Top 3. Number 3 for me is a game that I put off playing this game and any game like this for a very long time, and I think it was because I was always waiting on like a rainy day to start one and really give myself over to one, because I knew I would like it, and I knew that it would captivate me in the same way that the Souls franchise often does. But because I had a Nintendo Switch 2, this game happened to be on sale, and I wanted to play something new on it that I hadn't played before. I did load this game up. So this was a lot of me playing this game was in that time before Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, and a little after. This game is called Blasphemous.
Oh, yes, I know this game.
Yeah, Blasphemous is a Souls-like, 2D Souls-like, that shares a lot in common with Symphony of the Night. So it is
Incredible.
also, I would definitely consider it a Metroidvania, but also in the same way that I also consider Souls games Metroidvanias.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, except for Elden Ring. Like they usually are about like power-ups and something that are keys that get you to other areas that you can't access earlier in the game. Blasphemous has an incredible sprite-based art style.
Yeah.
It is mechanically very satisfying and very fun and cool. It's like got heavy, dark Inquisition era style religious theming around it. It just feels it's very impressive to me how heavy and dark and sinister that they can make it this 2D game feel.
Yeah.
That by all accounts could have been on the Super Nintendo, but is like feels so I don't know. Sometimes there are plot points and bosses and stuff that sometimes will just make you sick to your stomach. I mean, it's just like really monstrous.
Or your voice crack like mine just did.
Yeah. Yeah. So this game, I mean, the big ones I think that I would consider in this genre are like Hollow Knight is obviously a big 2D Souls-like Metroidvania. This game, Sultan Sanctuary is another one. Ender Lilies, Darkest Dungeon. These are 2D Souls-like games that I'm just like, no, I'm gonna love every single one of them. But it's like I really wanted to like give it a really fair shot. I have not beaten this game, but I have put in about 15, 20 hours.
Oh,
into
wow.
It. So I played it a lot. And I got it on sale in a bundle with Blasphemous 2. So my hope is that I'll be able to finish both of these.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun, and it's a game I haven't really talked about before.
Dude, incredible. I had no idea that you played this year. And I love that we sort of have the like dueling Metroidvania Gothic games-ish.
Yes.
Okay. That's your number 3. My number 3 is a tie, Jeremy.
Woo!
And this is kind of actually very easy to do. And that's because it's a tie between New Super Mario Bros. For the DS and New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the 3DS.
Oh, I like this as a tie. That's great.
Before this year, I had played the first New Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, and then New Super Mario Bros. U for the Switch. I played through that game twice. And I am actually a really big fan of the New Super Mario Bros. Series. They get a little flack sometimes, maybe for not being the most inventive or unique, but I love the series overall. And that's probably kind of a cold take because I think people generally do really like these. But I had never played the 2DS entries, and I had started the first one, DS, earlier this year, played through about 2 worlds, and then after we did our 3DS episode, I was like, ooh, I want to play 2, and I looked on my shelf, and I already had it, so I had bought this game for the 3DS at some point, and I put it in my beautiful 3DS. I cranked the 3D all the way up, and I played through that game in like 10 days. I would play it on like a break during editing. I'd be like, ooh, I just worked for an hour straight. Let's give me 5 to 10 minutes to play. So I'd pull it off a stand and play it. I'd play it before bed. I loved 2, and then I still had an appetite. So Jeremy, I threw my original cartridge in my DS Lite, and I played the DS for 1 as well. And I have so many thoughts on those games, but overall, it was some of the most fun I had all year. Who knew it would be playing a freaking 2D Mario platformer?
Hell yes, dude. That's incredible.
And for me, too, for the longest time, they felt like such a, not a blind spot in the series, but games that were missing from my Mario experience. And between, oh my gosh, there's a whole game I forgot about it. I'll just name it now. Another game that I guess you could put as a tie with this, too, was Bowser's Fury. I also played for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Never played that.
Dude, Bowser's Inside Fury.
You know it, brother. But anyway, those are 3 games that like I really felt, I think are the last, I would have to look, but I think are the last Mario proper platformers that I had never seen all the way through. And now I have. So yeah, that's a tie for my number 3.
That's incredible.
Well, let's go to your number 2.
Okay. What did you think of Bowser's Inside Fury?
Awesome, dude. I thought it was
that's
really
like the
fun.
Best, yeah.
I could have played twice the amount of content that they were able to give us. I know it was an add-on for the 3D World re-release, but yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, it is an add-on. It is sort of like not a completed full Mario experience, maybe, but I think it's like I mean, I think a lot of people who played it felt similarly. Like this could be where Mario goes, like in terms of an evolution of gameplay. Like that open world aspect of Mario was just like, I thought stunning.
Yeah.
It really rivaled Odyssey for me, and like what I want next from a new Mario.
That still is a curiosity to me, which is like, why did they do that? Was that to work on some gameplay stuff that they brought into Bonanza? Is that something for the future? I don't know.
It could. I think I felt like it was a test drive for like, hey, if we made a bigger experience like this, would people like it? Mm-hmm. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just a little thing they cooked up and they'll never do again. I don't know. But it's like the way you drive around that like Nessie or whatever to like the different islands. I thought it was just like I will play through Bowser's Fury every year just to give it a little, because it's so good. Anyway, my number 2 is as you know, I've been playing a lot of Nintendo 64 as of late. I would say for about the past month, I've been playing a ton of Nintendo 64. So I've rolled up my entire experience into one game. And that game is Cruisin' USA for the Nintendo 64.
That's the last comment that I made in the Discord, was just the words Cruisin' USA in italics.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just talking to you about the Wii Shop channel video from the sketch group Nirvana the band, and one of the parts someone in the Discord went, Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2, and then they said something else, and I went, Cruisin' USA, because that's part of the sketch. But Cruisin' USA, Jeremy, tell me about it.
Cruisin' USA is, have you ever played Cruisin' USA?
I don't think I've ever turned it on.
Do you know what it is? Yeah. Cruisin' USA is like, it's a lot like the game Outrun, maybe another game you probably haven't played before. But it is a racing game that is like sort of early, definitely arcade style. Very, you have a lot of control, which I think is the appeal of Cruisin' USA, is that you're not like constantly wiping out. You can like go full speed at a locked 60 frames through these stages, and really you can zip around. It kind of almost reminds me of the controls you get in like Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer. Which is like where you're like going so fast, yet you feel like you're in control. Like you don't feel like it's not so easy to wipe out that you're just dying constantly or wiping out constantly. The music is incredible in it. The the level layouts and the game design, the game feel of it is just immaculate. It's a game that I think doesn't get talked about a ton anymore, or a series that doesn't get talked about a ton anymore. But like to be alive in '97 or whatever when it came out, it just felt like the most fun, if not incredibly deep, but like most fun you could have in a weekend. I rented this a lot as a kid. I never owned a copy, but yeah, it was definitely an early impressive effort on the Nintendo 64. A great arcade style racing game. But yeah, like the N64, which I do feel like I'm going to do something with on my show next year, like just something to celebrate its 30-year anniversary.
Yeah. God, that's insane.
I know, it's disgusting. It hurts my feelings. But Cruisin' USA is definitely it's up there with some of the best Nintendo 64 games ever made. It's really, really good.
Wow, dude, very unexpected, but I love seeing this on your list. So Cruisin' USA representing the Nintendo 64 as your number 2. My number 2, and this is a comeback story. From my number 1 missed game last year, 2024, to my number 2 favorite game that I played not from this year. It's a game you actually referenced already on the podcast, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Ooh, woo!
And another co-op game. So this is one of 2 that I have on here. But yeah, this is the first game I played to start the year. And I just loved about every single second I had in this game. I loved the narrative of this new Indiana Jones story. I loved the gameplay. I loved the world that Bethesda had built. And yeah, I really can't say enough about it. There's a whole podcast that you, me, and Teo Yang did that's on the YouTube channel of this podcast and also on Patreon. But yeah, I think I like this game. I think this game was well received. I think I like it more than most people who liked it. Yeah. And I can't, I don't know when I would revisit it, but this is definitely a game that I could see myself being like, you know what? I want to go on that adventure again and go to, the pyramids. I want to go to, where are you in Italy? Rome?
Yeah, the Vatican.
The Vatican. You're at the Vatican, and wherever the second or third place is that I can't remember at this point. I just ate this game up. I know you played it too. We talked about it on the pod, but I almost had this as my number 1, which would have been an even bigger comeback from my top missed game from the previous year to my favorite game not from the year.
Yeah.
And it's a weird one though, because this came out so close to the end of the year. I mean, this would be like if I play Metroid Prime 4 and like it enough and it's on my list. It feels so close to 2025 that it almost feels ineligible, but I was like, I'm putting it on my list.
I love that. No, are you? There is DLC coming out for it, or it's already out for it?
It might already be out. I haven't played it. I tried to buy this game on Steam. In fact, I did buy it, but even my pretty dang good graphics card couldn't play the game, so I got a refund, and I just played it on Game Pass. But I would like to own this on PlayStation 5 someday, which they have now. Yeah. So anyway,
interesting. That's great. That was your number 2?
That was my number 2, leading us to Jeremy, your final game, your number 1 game of the year, not from 2025.
All right. My game of the year, not from 2025, is Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
I had actually forgotten that you said we might talk about this later. Incredible.
Yes, I almost just blurted out that this was my number 1 when you were talking about it, but then I was like, no,
it's my number 1. Yeah.
If it was my number 2, I would have said it.
Sure.
It's my number 1. Yeah, you covered Shovel Knight really well with what you just said about it. You went into great detail about the hidden stuff and the way that the game looks and feels. I just want to add on, I still think it's so crazy that of all of the retro kind of throwback pixel-based games that we have, and we have a huge amount of those types of games that get made constantly all the time, This one is one of the few that actually feels like I could play it on an NES. This this actually somehow replicates the look of an NES more than any of those other games. And yes, it does feel modern as well, and there's clearly things going on graphically that couldn't take place on an NES. I mean, I get that. I still am very tricked when I'm playing this game that I'm not playing an older video game. It has all of the greatest aspects of Mega Man, Castlevania, DuckTales, all in a new modern video game that doesn't overstay its welcome. I mean, I love that original Shovel Knight campaign for its brevity, if nothing else. Like, you can get through it pretty quick. You meet all these great characters in such a short amount of time and have all these great experiences and all these little side things that you can do, or you can engage with none of that. I also think that the power-ups are really, really great. I think this game almost never annoys me or never really feels all that cheap. I love that system of like checkpoint that you can trade off and just get more gems if you want. You can like break it and get a bunch of like money. And then you sacrifice like that checkpoint. It's like such an interesting trade-off. I wish I probably will do this. I've always planned on playing the other campaigns that are like included in Treasure Trove. I know Patrick Ellers is a huge he loves the other campaigns.
I'm looking
he talks
him up
about
too because I should have done this earlier when I was going through it, but the other campaign. Oh, it's I think it's Plague of Shadows.
Plague of Shadows. That's the one where you play as like the green.
Yes, which is awesome. Well, I think that's it. Oh no, yeah, that's where you play. Sorry, the different one. Plague of Shadows. You play as like the green sort of alchemist.
Yes.
Spectre of Torment is where you play as that other character who. Spectre Knight. It's right in the title. Yeah. That's the one that I started. That is awesome. I think it might be his favorite.
I've heard that one's great. I've heard the other. I've played through some of the other one, and it's not. It wasn't as great as Shovel Knight.
Definitely.
But still very fun. Yeah, and I was really happy to have played back through. I mean, that was my second time through Shovel Knight, and there will be many more in the future.
Dude.
You mentioned Mina the Hollower. I just want to say one thing about Mina the Hollower. Did you play the demo?
I didn't touch the demo.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about Mina the Hollower because I trust Yacht Club games. It is not like... It's just not gonna be Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna have that tight gameplay loop that Shovel Knight had. So I'm really curious to see how they land that plane.
I see.
Because playing a game like Link's Awakening that's not Link's Awakening, I don't know. I just don't know. I remember playing through that demo and just thinking, this is a little bit not what I think I want to be doing.
Interesting.
There's aspects of it and parts of it that I just felt a little like, maybe not. Maybe not all retro style games are made equal.
Yeah.
You know, are equal. Like, so we'll see. I think it potentially could be great. But I hope they're taking the time to really iron out and smooth out. It was really around game feel. It felt slow. You know how Link's Awakening, that original, it just feels slow. It takes you forever to get across the screen. You're not doing much. You're just kind of...
He kind of slowly slides across each little box.
Right.
Incredible. My number one. Brought this game up to you yesterday. I was talking about it a little too much on your podcast. It's Final Fantasy IV for the DS, Jeremy.
Oh!
I've got the case here that I bought at Laughing Crow Games in Modesto, California. If you are listening and you're a Modesto resident, please go check their store out. They've got some really nice employees and a great selection of retro games for all sorts of consoles. But dude, this is such a late run for the number one spot this year. I bought this game, like I was telling you, over the Thanksgiving holiday. I've been playing it for a couple weeks. I have always loved Final Fantasy IV. It's one of the games that that my best friend growing up, Eddie, pulled me into his world, and his world was like the Super Nintendo. This was one of the games that fascinated me the most. And I've always adored the original for all the reasons that people sing its praises and all the reasons that make it also kind of hilariously designed in some ways, from the 30 fake deaths to how cheesy some of it is to how linear it is. I love it. The DS version I'd heard about for so many years. For those of you at home who don't know, this is a complete remake in some ways of the game, where it's not a pixel graphic art style. It's this like chibi 3D art style. And in fact, I've got the manual here. Let's see if this has any art that I can show the listener. But it does things like I was saying on your podcast, where all the charm of the original game is there. There are some ways that they make beautiful homages to the original game, whether it be a transition from going from an overworld into a town, or there's plenty of examples too. While I don't really like the art style of this chibi design that they went with, I do overall love seeing the attempt to translate it. It's a lot harder than the original game. I just took 3 attempts to beat a boss that I've never had trouble with before in other versions. But yeah, I can't sing its praises enough. I think I'm also someone, Jeremy, who likes to see a weird take on a game they used to love. Like, I know a lot of people do not like Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Mm-hmm. I am not among that group. I love how strange it is and how it's like it's like, as Adrian Holmes said, it's as if your little brother went and saw Metal Gear Solid in the theater and came back and exaggerated everything about it to you when he recounted the story. So this is like that. And I am going to plan to keep playing it casually. I don't know if I'll see it all the way through, but I've been playing it on this DS Lite. You can see you can kind of see a cutscene here between Cecil and Kane. I love it. That's my number 1, Jeremy.
So amazing, dude. I agree with you too. I think that the days of me getting really tripped up about like remakes or like special editions of stuff hurting the experience I had with the original are over. I'm like, no, Metal Gear Solid 1 is still there.
Yeah.
It's still beautiful and wonderful, and you can go play it. So why ever be mad at something like Twin Snakes? Like, just enjoy it for its curiosity. There's no, that's incredible. I hope you stick with it. I would love to hear more of your journey on Final Fantasy IV as you go through it.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a point that's just too difficult for me to get past, because I couldn't believe that Cagnazzo was like giving me fits. Anyway, before let's recap our lists. No, let's do honorable mentions and then recap our list and then get out of here. Jeremy, I've just got a few honorable mentions. I could name a ton of games, but the ones I wanted to highlight were, I think probably my favorite old game that we played on the Games Club, Resident Evil 4 Remake. I also played Resident Evil 4 for the first time on the Wii as well.
Oh, that's great. And then you left that off the list.
I left it off the list only because I talked so much about RE4 Remake on the Games Club, and I think I got about 2/3 of the way through the original, so I also didn't finish it. I played that on the Wii proper. Nintendo World Championships was something that I borrowed from Patrick to play at my birthday this year, and I've continued to play that with people who've been over. And another game I dipped in for the first time because a guest talked about it on my podcast is Earthbound Beginnings.
Oh, geez. Wow.
Have you started that before?
I have, yeah. That is, if you thought Earthbound was brutal, that game is brutal.
It's everything everyone's ever told you about that game is true, but I also couldn't stop playing it. And
Good.
I was like, I want to see more.
Great. Frick, yes. Yeah, that is such an interesting game to try to go through. I mean, it's very punishing, but and very similar to Earthbound in a lot of ways.
I always heard it was like kind of felt like a prototype of Earthbound, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I got a couple honorable mentions.
Yeah.
I played through all of Mega Man 2.
Oh.
I believe. I don't know why I didn't put that on my list, but I did play through all of Mega Man 2 this year. in anticipation for something. I can't remember. But that game is great. Have you played Mega Man 2?
I've started it, but I haven't had a thorough playthrough with it.
Yeah, it's like it's notable because it's like easier than you think it's gonna be, and so that's really fun. Just going through and playing through something just that's a little bit easier. I also just briefly more on Super Mario Galaxy 2, which is a game that got re-released this year for the Nintendo Switch. You didn't pick this up, right?
I didn't, and I love these games.
Yeah, I was just kind of reminded. I've played through Super Mario Galaxy 1 twice now on Switch 1 and then again on Switch 2. I couldn't just start Super Mario Galaxy 2. I had to play through Super Mario Galaxy 1 for whatever dumb reason. And I'm so lukewarm on Super Mario Galaxy 1. I don't know what it is. It just can't. It just does not feel like the prestige experience that I want from a 3D Mario game. I know people love it, and a lot of people even prefer it. I just hard prefer Super Mario Galaxy 2. I just think it's so cleaned up and refined, and I love the hub world so much more. Some people I've heard love the hub world of the original Super Mario Galaxy. Like, I could not disagree more. Running around that entire like little circlet thing, but to get to each individual world, such a waste of time. I just but this game, it's just so much more streamlined. Yoshi's in it. Come on,
and
Yosh.
He doesn't turn into goo if he falls in water in this one, I don't think.
Right.
Like Sunshine.
He might. Maybe he doesn't. I don't think he does. But yeah, it's such a great game, such a great experience, and it was so great to relive through that again. I mean, I just obsessed. But those are my honorable mentions.
Well, wonderful. Let's go ahead and recap our list. Jeremy, will you count up from 9 to 1 for us one more time?
Yeah. So my number 9 is Pokemon trading card game Pocket. Number 8 is Wind Waker. Number 7 is Tekken 3. 6 is Bakaru. 5 is Super Mario Odyssey. 4 is Balatro. 3 is Blasphemous. 2 is Cruisin' USA. And number 1 is Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
And for me, number 9, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Number 8, Gravity Rush. Number 7, Persona 4 Golden. Number 6, Metroid Prime 2. Number 5, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Our only crossover on the list. Number 4, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Number 3, a tie between New Super Mario Bros. DS and New Super Mario Bros. 2. Number 2, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And number 1, Final Fantasy IV for the DS. That's going to do it for this episode of Call Me By Your Game. Jeremy, on your way out, buddy. Well, first, thank you so much for joining me. I can't believe we're already done with this home and home that we do every year. What do you want to plug on your way out?
Oh, Video Games, a comedy show anywhere podcasts can be found. And on my show, Video Games, a Comedy Show, if you don't listen, you should listen to at least the Game of the Year episodes, of which your host of this show, Connor McCabe, will be on. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those episodes will release Monday the 22nd of December and Monday the 29th of December. But if you want to watch it live as it happens, you can. You missed it already, right?
I think you did miss it, yeah.
You missed it. It's on the 15th. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Catch it over there. That's it.
Awesome. Well, those plugs to Jeremy's show and everything I'm about to plug is going to be in a link in the show notes below, including the cover art, which is done by the artist Glenn J. His Instagram, you can be found there too. The show is produced, edited, and the original music that you hear throughout is done by this guy, Jeremy Schmidt, as well. You can follow the podcast at Call Me By Your Game on Instagram, Blue Sky, and YouTube. I make a video version of every single episode on the YouTube, so please go give us a subscribe and a like over there. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram as well. And then lastly, once again, if you like the conversations, especially that Jeremy and I are having here, there's a ton of the two of us on our Patreon, including our upcoming bonus series. Next year, our first Games Club in January 2026 is going to be all about Fire Emblem Awakening. We're covering that with an amazing panel, so check us out on Patreon to find that. Check out our free feed at the Super NPC Games Club if you want to hear what those kind of series are like. But that's really it. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Call Me By Your Game. We will see you on the next one.